The three dots appear, a fleeting promise of connection, then vanish into the digital ether. It's a tease, a digital mirage that leaves you anticipating a response that may never materialize. You stare at your phone, the screen's glow reflecting in your eyes, each passing second stretching into an eternity. You're waiting, hoping for a reply that never comes, trapped in a loop of anticipation and disappointment. Hours pass, marked only by the relentless ticking of the clock and the increasingly frequent glances at your phone. The sun rises and sets, but your digital world remains stubbornly silent. Still nothing. The empty message thread mocks you with its blankness, a stark reminder of the unanswered question hanging in the air. Your confident message, "Want to do it again sometime?" A carefully crafted invitation, a subtle expression of interest. Now echoes in silence, a lonely signal lost in the vast expanse of cyberspace. It hangs there, unanswered, a testament to the uncertainty of modern connection. Doubt creeps in, tightening your stomach like a cold fist. The what-ifs begin to swirl, each one more unsettling than the last. The pain of being ignored is sharp, a stinging reminder of your vulnerability. It's a primal fear, the fear of being unseen, unheard, unacknowledged. Not because it's rejection, although that stings too, but because it's uncertainty, the ambiguity that allows your imagination to run wild. The lack of closure is the real tormentor. Your mind fills the void with worst-case scenarios, each more elaborate and devastating than the last. You become a screenwriter of your own anxieties, casting yourself in a drama of rejection and inadequacy. Did I say something wrong? Was my message too forward, too bland, too something? You dissect every word, searching for the hidden flaw that doomed your chances. Was I not enough? Am I not interesting, attractive, worthy of a response? The silence amplifies your insecurities, whispering doubts into your ear. The urge to act is overwhelming, a desperate need to break the silence, to regain control. To double text, to send a follow-up, a gentle nudge, anything to elicit a response, to chase, to pursue, to demonstrate your interest, even if it means sacrificing a bit of your dignity, to demand a response, to confront the silence, to force an answer, even if it's not the one you want. But every impulsive message reveals desperation, a crack in your carefully constructed facade of confidence. Not confidence, but neediness, a vulnerability that can be easily exploited. You hand over your peace of mind, your emotional well-being, to the whims of someone else's attention, waiting for someone else to decide how you feel, allowing their silence to dictate your mood and self-worth. This is where most men falter, succumbing to the pressure, losing their composure, reacting, pleading, losing themselves in a desperate attempt to salvage the situation, sacrificing their self-respect in the process. But there's another way, a path less traveled, a more empowering approach. A path not born in the digital age, not dictated by the fleeting trends of modern dating, but in ancient Rome, in the wisdom of philosophers who understood the human condition long before smartphones and social media. A philosophy for moments like this, for navigating the uncertainty, the anxiety, the emotional turmoil of the unanswered message. Stoicism, a framework for resilience. Stoicism isn't a trick or a tactic, a manipulative game to play. It's a fundamental shift in perspective, a reevaluation of what truly matters. In how you see yourself and the world, a recognition that your worth is not determined by the validation of others. It's about reclaiming your power, taking back control of your emotions, and refusing to let external events dictate your inner state. And it starts right here, in this moment of uncertainty, this test of your resilience. In the silence, in the space between message sent and reply received, where you choose your response. Stoicism isn't about suppressing emotion or becoming cold. It's about understanding your feelings and choosing your response. Practiced by emperors and slaves alike, Stoicism teaches one core lesson: know what you can control and what you can't. You can't control her reply, but you can control your thoughts and actions. This is the dichotomy of control, the key to inner peace. The Stoic builds his fortress on his own mind, not on anyone else's approval. Being ignored stings. Instinct says you're not good enough. But these are just impressions, not facts. The real trap is believing your first emotional reaction. You let anxiety and frustration spiral, acting out of desperation. The Stoics remind us we're not disturbed by events, but by our judgments about them. Silence is neutral. It could mean anything or nothing at all. The suffering comes from the story you tell yourself. You choose to interpret silence as rejection. Stoicism offers a pause, a moment to question your reaction. Is this really about me? Is my worth tied to her reply? By stepping back, you rob anxiety of its power. You choose reason over reaction. You act with self-respect, not wounded ego. This is the Stoics' first victory, mastering your response. You don't have to be carried away by emotion. You can choose your story. At the fork in the road, a critical juncture in your interactions, you face a choice, a pivotal decision that will shape your emotional landscape. It's a moment where you define the boundaries of your control. One path leads you to obsess over her feelings, her actions, her every reply, analyzing each text, each pause, each subtle shift in tone. This path is paved with anxiety and frustration, all things you can't control. It's a futile attempt to steer the course of another person's emotions. The other path offers a different approach. Focus on your own thoughts, actions, and self-respect. Cultivate your inner garden, nurture your own growth, and define your own worth. The Stoic chooses the second path, the path of self-mastery and inner peace. It's a conscious decision to prioritize what you can influence. You can't force a reply. You can't dictate someone's feelings or actions, but you can choose not to send a needy follow-up, not to bombard them with messages seeking validation. You can put your phone down and focus on your life, on your passions, on the things that bring you joy and fulfillment. You reclaim your emotional keys, taking back the power to define your own happiness. My happiness is my responsibility, a principle that guides your actions and shapes your perspective. My peace is mine to protect, a sanctuary that you guard against external disturbances. Each time your mind drifts to worry, to the what-ifs and maybes, gently bring it back to the present moment, to the things you can control. Her response is not in my control, a truth that sets you free from the shackles of expectation. My response is, and that's where my power lies. This habit, built over time, makes you stronger, more resilient, and more self-assured. You stop wasting energy on the uncontrollable, on the things that drain your spirit and diminish your power. You invest it in your own character, in your own growth, in becoming the best version of yourself. This is not resignation, it's power. The power to choose your own path and define your own destiny. You become the master of your own mind, the captain of your own ship, navigating the seas of life with courage and conviction. The world outside can't shake your inner peace, because your peace comes from within, from your own self-mastery. That's the Stoic's true strength, the ability to remain calm and centered in the face of adversity. In a world obsessed with action, a world that constantly demands our attention and immediate response, where every notification, every message, every fleeting thought seems to require an instant reaction, the Stoic's power is restraint. It's the ability to pause, to reflect, and to choose your response, rather than being driven by impulse. It's about recognizing the strength in stillness, the wisdom in waiting. When you want to fix the silence, when that uncomfortable void stretches out before you and the urge to fill it becomes almost unbearable, do nothing. Resist the urge to jump in, to interject, to fill the space with noise. Pause. Wait. Take a deep breath and allow the moment to unfold. Observe your feelings, acknowledge your anxieties, but don't let them dictate your actions. Let the emotional storm pass. Just as a storm eventually clears, so too will your turbulent emotions subside if you allow them to run their course without interference. This isn't helplessness, it's self-control. It's not about being passive or weak. It's about actively choosing to manage your reactions and direct your energy. You refuse to act out of neediness. You're not driven by a desperate desire for validation or attention. By not double texting, by resisting the urge to bombard someone with messages, seeking reassurance, you send a message to yourself, a powerful affirmation of your own self-worth. My peace matters more than impatience. My inner calm is more valuable than the fleeting satisfaction of an immediate response. Your dignity stays intact. You maintain your sense of self-respect and avoid compromising your integrity. If you relentlessly pursue someone's attention or affection, you only double your anxiety. amplifying your worries and insecurities. And hand over more power. You relinquish control of your own emotions and well-being, placing them in the hands of another. Chasing signals desperation, not strength. It projects an image of neediness and insecurity, undermining your own value. True strength is demonstrating through your actions. You don't need her reply to feel whole. That your happiness and self-worth are not contingent on external validation. So, put the phone away. Disconnect from the digital world and reconnect with yourself. Create distance, physically and mentally. Step away from the situation and give yourself the space to think clearly. Fill your time with things that matter, activities that bring you joy, fulfillment, and a sense of purpose. Exercise, reading, projects, friends. Nurture your relationships and invest in meaningful connections. Replace anxious waiting, that feeling of unease and anticipation, with purposeful action. Channel your energy into activities that move you forward. This is the Stoic response, a deliberate and conscious choice to control your reactions. Not spite, but self-focus. It's not about being vindictive or resentful. It's about prioritizing your own well-being and growth. You're not ignoring her. It's not about dismissing or disrespecting another person. You're choosing your own life. You are actively taking control of your own destiny and making choices that align with your values and goals. Contentment is found in what you control. True happiness comes from within, from mastering your own thoughts and actions. The world can wait. You don't need to rush or be pressured by external demands. You're building your own foundation, a strong and stable base of self-worth, resilience, and inner peace. The urge to act fades. As you cultivate self-control, the impulsive desires lose their power. Your self-respect grows. You develop a deeper sense of self-worth and confidence in your own abilities. You become unshakable, grounded in your own values, impervious to external pressures. That's real power. The power to control yourself, to choose your response, and to live a life of purpose and meaning. After restraint, turn inward. Her silence is a mirror, revealing, not causing, your feelings. Use this as a chance for self-examination. Why does this bother me? Is my worth tied to her approval? Growth comes from honest answers. Build your foundation on virtues, courage, discipline, wisdom. Invest in yourself. Read, learn, create. The pain becomes a signal for where to grow. Each time you choose self-work over chasing, you become stronger. Stoic indifference isn't coldness, it's freedom. A reply is nice, but not necessary for your happiness. Your tranquility doesn't depend on her. You expressed interest. Now, let go. Self-respect means not begging for attention. If your offer isn't accepted, move on with grace. Calm indifference is attractive, desperation repels. Confidence is magnetic, especially when you're unshaken by outcomes. You invite her into your world, but your happiness isn't at stake. You're the gatekeeper of your mind. Her response doesn't get to disturb your peace. That's the ultimate self-preservation. Stoicism isn't just for this moment. It's a lifelong strategy. Each time you respond with self-control, you build your inner citadel. Your self-worth becomes stable, rooted in your character. You stop riding the roller coaster of others' approval. This frees up energy for what matters: your goals, your health, your real relationships. You become more productive, focused, and resilient. You accept what you can't control and let go of the rest. You become the calm in the storm. In the end, it's a choice. Chase validation and lose your peace, or choose the Stoic path. The Stoic path is harder, but it's the path of dignity and strength. You can't control others, but you can always control your response. This is your freedom. Life will bring silence and rejection, but your reaction is always yours. Each unanswered message is a chance to practice virtue. Build your inner citadel. Choose your own peace.